Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today is an art journal page. Mondays are for art journaling. So this is the first art journal page that I am doing for the month, for the 15 days, the Crafty Life 15 days of videos. If you're interested, I'm going to be doing the first 15 videos here on YouTube, and then the second 15 videos will be on my Patreon. So I'm actually doing 30 days of videos. I do have a couple patrons that have YouTube channels that are joining me for the first 15 days on their YouTube channels. So I will have their channels linked down below if you want to go check out their videos and subscribe to their channel. That would be so awesome. Get more inspiration. And yeah, so right now I am just using some gel matte medium, and I'm using a paintbrush to, I guess, glue down kind of some tissue paper. Now, some of this tissue paper is from a gift, and then the like black and white tissue paper is collage paper from Dina Wakley. So any of the products that I can link, I will link down below if you guys are interested. For me, art journaling is very therapeutic. I love to just sit down, watch some either Hulu shows or Netflix shows or another person doing art journaling, and just play with my products. For me, my art journal pages don't always turn out the exact way that I envisioned. Sometimes I will just sit down with some products and not really have anything in mind exactly what I want it to look like, which is kind of what happened with this page. I knew that I wanted to do a certain technique, but I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do it. So the first layer is all done now with the magic of editing. It did take a minute, but again, it's just layering all of those with the gel matte medium, and you have to let that dry, you guys. Between your layers, you really need to let it dry, or use your heat tool, but be careful getting the heat tool too close because it can make certain products bubble up. If you don't want that effect, if you want a more smooth effect, then you want to be careful. So now I'm just going in with some acrylic. No, I think this is acrylic paint. Yeah, this is acrylic paint. Sorry, guys. And I am just making some marks in some of the white spaces. I'm going to do this with, I think, 4 different colors, possibly 3. 3 colors. And now I'm going to go in with this kind of magenta color, and I'm going to, really no rhyme or reason. There's really no right or wrong here. I'm just going in and making some paint strokes. Some are with the aqua, some are by themselves, and really there's no right or wrong way to do this here. A lot of this is going to get covered up, so that's okay. It's still fun to just play with your products. If you don't art journal, but you have mixed media products, you can still play with your products in this way and just get a feel for how they work. Yeah, that's one way that I like to use my art journals, is just to play with the products. Okay, so I am going to be using 4 colors. So now I'm going in with a coral color. I kind of wanted to use some of the same colors that were in that tissue paper with the triangles and stars and circles. I did not use a purple. However, I ended up using the magenta, and so it works anyways. So again, I'm doing the exact same thing, and I'm just going in with this coral color, and you can see the page start to come to life. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I am mostly marking up in white space, but overlapping over top of the tissue paper. And then the last color that I'm going to go in with is this golden yellow. It's super bright. And I think that the yellow just kind of brought it to life for me. Yeah, yellow is definitely not a color that I am normally drawn to for art journaling. The aquas and the pinks and purples are kind of the colors that I'm drawn to. So I wanted to kind of step outside of my box and do something a little bit different. I have been binge watching Inky Quill's art journal videos from like years ago. And so I think that some of these techniques were definitely learned from her videos. I really enjoy watching her videos. And she's so much fun. So again, I'm just going over with the yellow in different white spaces, I guess. So the technique that I want to do is a technique actually that I learned from Adele from Inky Quill. And you guys are going to see in a minute. But like, it all looks kind of like a hot mess right now. And I think that for art journaling, for me at least, usually it always looks really bad before it turns out really pretty. And sometimes I almost want to quit or go to the next page and start over. Because I was looking at this and I was like, oh God, there's a lot happening on this page. It doesn't really look great. Now I'm going in on certain little paint strokes with a white marker and just doing some like plus signs. And again, now that I, did the technique, you really can't see these. I guess I could have done this like after the fact. Some of them you can see because most of these get covered up. But it's okay. I'm still going in and doing those. And even just adding those little white plus signs, I feel like just adds an extra layer here. And I really enjoy the way that it looks. And it actually looks a lot better to me with the plus signs than just the plain paint strokes. Just my opinion. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And next, we're going to pull in a stencil. Now, when I started this, I wasn't sure what stencil I was going to use. And so that's why I say a lot of this ends up getting covered up. This is the stencil that I'm going to use. I got it from an art store that's local to me. So this brand I've never seen online. But I'm using a makeup sponge and black gesso. Y'all, Emily, my daughter, was watching me while I was doing this and she was horrified. She said, "Oh, what are you doing? You're covering all of your pretty artwork that you just did. You're covering it all up." And I said, "Just be patient, baby. Just be patient. Like it's going to be so pretty." And she was like, "No." She said, "No, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible." And I said, "Okay, well, we'll see. Let's just keep going because we've already done it. So let's do it and find out." And so that's what I'm doing. I'm using the black gesso. I like the black gesso over black paint because it dries matte, like a very, very matte finish, and it's very full coverage. So yes, I could have used a black paint. However, a lot of acrylic paints have a glossy finish to them. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And black gesso is just what I had on hand. And it just again, it has a really great full coverage. And so I really didn't have to use that much to cover up all of this. I think a lot of you know where this is going, right? So the stencil is going to reveal what is behind the stencil, obviously. So all of that pretty work is going to be shown through where it's not black. And yeah, it's exciting, you guys. So I know this is taking a while and I do apologize. But with the magic of editing, I have now gotten most of it done. And now I'm going in with a paintbrush just to blend out the edges. I didn't want to go all the way across the page with the black because I don't want to cover it all up, but I kind of just want it to look like it kind of fades out. And wow, look at that reveal. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. Again, you don't see all of the colors, you don't see all of the details, but you just kind of see it peeking out. So now I'm going around this whole thing with that white marker, and I'm just going to do some design work kind of around it with some dots. And I think that doing this with the marker or a white gel pen, another little thing that I learned from Inky Quill, just really adds something extra to your pages. So again, I will try to link to my favorite gel pen and this marker that I use that are really great on acrylic paints. Also, Dina Wakley makes like an acrylic paint pen that is like super fine tip, and I just recently ordered it and I have not gotten it yet though. And I'll let you guys know how I like that. So again, now I'm going to go in with the gel pen, and again, I'm adding more details. So I absolutely didn't have to do this. I could have just left it and then just not added any of these details. But I really think that these small details just really make it pop off the page. So now I'm going in and kind of outlining the inside of that stencil. Like, you guys can see what I'm outlining. Again, it just adds more. So I'm leaving a little bit of a line between the black and where the stencil is not, where it's blank, because I want there to be that outline of the black. So I'm not going all the way to the edge with the white pen. And I honestly love the way that this looks. Emily was like, oh my gosh, like she was so surprised what it looked like when I revealed it. Also, I did write a little quote at the top off camera. It says, kindness begins with the understanding that we all struggle. And this was from Charles Glassman. I am terrible. My handwriting is terrible. I really don't have pretty handwriting. And so I honestly try my best to not use my handwriting in my art journals, but I really wanted to write a quote, and so I just did it small at the top, and I thought that it was a very impactful quote. We all struggle in life. We all have different struggles. We may not know what each other's struggles are, and in that moment when I wrote that, it just felt really like, yes, like we all struggle, especially with this past year. I think everybody has struggled in some way. And like, just be kind. Be kind to people. Everybody is struggling, and you might not know what their struggle is, but being kind to somebody could really just help them along. And so I thought that was a perfect quote for this art journal page for this time that we're all in. And so I'm almost done with this outlining, and then I'm going to do one more outline kind of around the center, the big circle. And then I think that is going to really bring in just another great element. I just really think that it looks really great. And it just adds more to it. And again, you could stop. I could have stopped with just the gesso and not did any of the white outlining. But again, I think it really makes the page unique and different. So yeah, let me know down below if you art journal or if you are interested in beginning art journaling. I do have an art journal beginner video, like supplies that you need, on my YouTube channel. I'll try to find it and link it up above if you're interested in starting, just the basic supplies that I think you would need to get started. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and again, leave me a comment down below, and consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to spread love and be kind. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Bye.